At 12 minutes to 8, it is time for us to have a little look at some local history, and we do that with only one person, and he is from History Out There, and that is, of course, Harold Peacock. Good morning, mate.
Yes, good morning, Damie. A lot of history, but this is a safety warning as well today.
Oh, okay. Well, we've always got to be safety conscious, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. Look, and with the rain, we've got to be safe, of course, especially our friends up north. But that's going to bring out more kangaroos. And so this is a timely story about the history of killer kangaroos on the Darling Downs.
Oh, there you go. I feel there's a good story here. All right, over to you, mate.
Yeah, look, there are loads of stories to choose from about people being accosted by kangaroos. Now, I've picked just a handful of them, including some from down south, some closer to home, and some where the ladies are the heroes.
Oh.
Now, first of all, down in the Wombat Ranges in Victoria, this was just after the Kelly gang had their last stand there, thereabouts in 1880, and it seems the wildlife was in revolt.
Right.
Now, there was a Mrs. Bridget Phelan who was riding a horse into town when her dog stuck up an old man kangaroo, and the two animals went to battle. Now, the dog was having the worst of it, so Mrs. Phelan got off her horse and the kangaroo turned on her, slicing her open with frightful cuts all over her body, which in the end, it actually killed her.
Oh.
And then the next one I want to tell you about is at Wanton Battery, which is east of Wagga Wagga in New South Wales. It was in 1881. A young man named William Ludwell took a Miss Webster on a kangaroo shooting date, and it went all wrong. Now, the couple encountered an old man kangaroo which went straight for Miss Webster and attacked her.
Right.
Now, while Miss Webster and the kangaroo fought toe-to-toe, the boyfriend Ludwell, instead of going to his girlfriend's rescue, he rode out of there at a gallop to save himself.
Oh, the wimp.
I know, look, but fortunately, the girl's father came onto the scene and rescued his daughter, but not before one of her legs was broken and one of her ears was torn completely off.
Ouch.
Now, needless to say, young Mr. Ludwell and Miss Webster, they never got married.
No. No.
Next, we come close to home, to Ipswich on the old road to Warwick. It was in 1894, there was a Robert Bennett, whose father once worked for the 8th Duke of Manchester. But on this morning, the younger Mr. Bennett was driving a cow along the road when he was confronted by an old man kangaroo. Now, the cow refused to go on, and so Bennett went to shoo the old man away, but the kangaroo attacked him, and a full-on street fight ensued. The kangaroo would have completely gutted Bennett had it not been for a young lady who intervened. She caught the kangaroo by the tail, which allowed Bennett to roll out of its clutches. The kangaroo then nonchalantly hopped away. And Bennett's life, no doubt, had been saved by that young lady. Now, next, a little further away, outside of Mount Isa, there was a kangaroo shooter by the name of Jack Alexander. Now, this was in 1937, just after Alexander's own brother had been found alone and dead in the bush. Now, Alexander failed to return from his day's shooting, and so a search party went out. They followed the tracks of Alexander's horse, then footprints made when he dismounted, and what they found, Damo, was shocking.
Oh.
There, lying dead in a pool of blood, was a kangaroo with its throat slit.
Oh.
And beside it was a body of Alexander, also dead, and with his knife still in hand. You can only imagine the struggle that went on.
I could imagine.
Yeah, now this last one I'll tell you about was actually in Toowoomba in 1913, when a young man named Kenneth Upton was entertaining a lady visitor at his home. Now, Upton took her inside to supposedly show off his pet kangaroo, which he kept in a wire-netted room.
Right.
Now, he went in to make a bed for the animal, but the kangaroo attacked him, and an almighty battle ensued again. If it wasn't for timely assistance by his lady friend, Upton would have been another fatality. He spent weeks in bed recovering, and needless to say, he never went on a date like that again.
Well, there you go.
Yes, so Damo, of these 5 kangaroo attacks, there were 2 human fatalities, and in all the others, the men were only saved by their lady companions. So the history lesson here, Damo, choose your dates wisely if you're going to be mixing it with kangaroos.
Exactly. And, don't go out looking to harm a kangaroo because they'll harm you right back.
Oh, look, they're only trying to protect themselves. So, like a pet kangaroo locked up in a room, that's a bit bizarre. But stay away from them. Help them if need be. But there are experts to do that if you're in trouble.
Another good story, mate. We can find that where?
Yeah, you go online. Now, I post these stories on Friday mornings, so you can go online to historyouthere.com, which you can also find on all the socials.
Fantastic, mate. Look forward to catching up again next week and appreciate the story.
Oh, look, it's going to be another good one.
There we go. Harold Peacock from historyouthere.com. Killer Kangaroos. What more could you want on a Tuesday morning? Quick break. Back with more in a moment.